Hello, wonderful students. Professor Graham here. Sorry, I'm not looking at the camera. I am opening my screen to share with you. Hi, I'd like to go over the syllabus with you and just kind of discuss the flow of the class to help you navigate our course. So here is our homepage, and I'm just going to kind of move down here. I'm not going to read the course details and course objectives to you. You will need to do that on your own, but we'll just kind of get started with the student learning outcomes. You'll be using effective reading strategies to understand argumentative texts with both literal and implied meanings. You'll learn to write clear, well-organized, purpose-driven analytical essays and synthesize evidence from outside sources to support claims effectively. Now, each of these buttons will lead you directly to a module. There are your MLA handouts. One little caveat to these buttons is I have set prerequisites on the modules. So if you have trouble opening, say, module 3, it's because the modules 1 and 2 need to be open first. So we'll just kind of take a look at that in just one moment. I wanted to share with you the course communication plan that we have in is set for this class. You can interact with me directly through the Canvas inbox over here on your right. And you can by reaching out to me through by emailing me, you can request a Zoom meeting and we can meet one-on-one. I'm happy to do that on your time. I have set a time for our class meetings, but that's merely a formality. I'm happy to meet with you guys at any point that works best for you. So you'll be hearing from me through announcements. I will also be sending you emails through the Canvas inbox, and you'll receive feedback from me as well as rubrics with each assignment. And then also the discussions, both graded and ungraded, I'll pop in. I will definitely be responding on the ungraded, or rather, pardon me, on the graded discussions. But I will just kind of monitor the ungraded discussions as needed. And then how you will interact with your classmates will be directly through the discussions, both graded and ungraded. And you're also welcome to reply to each other, make comments on any announcement that I make, which I will be doing periodically as well. Okay, so that is our communication plan. And again, I'm not skipping over this. I just don't want to read every single thing to you in this video. It's not that it's not important. I would love for you to read that on your own. But here we'll go directly to the syllabus. And first, I'd like to share with you visually just the flow of the class. We have first the syllabus module. There is a Canvas orientation module for anyone who this might be the first time taking a class on Canvas, or perhaps you've done so in the past, but you didn't learn how to set up a profile picture, for example, or something like that. So I have these videos here for you. If you need further assistance, please reach out to me. I can definitely send you resources, and you're also welcome to over here click on the help button, this question mark, and you'll have lots of Canvas resources as well. So you can contact them directly, specifically with Canvas issues. So You have your student support services here. Some things I'd like to point out. We're going to go back up to the syllabus in just a second, or actually, I'm showing you the flow, aren't I? So you have student support services. There are MLA handouts here that you will be using in the class specifically for your essays. But you'll be practicing writing MLA paragraphs and citations up until that point. So that module will be very helpful for you. What I'd like for you to notice here on the right-hand side are the prerequisites that I mentioned. So prerequisite for module 1, for example, will be to first start module 0. That is our engagement activity to be done on the first day of class. And before you open that, you'll need to read the syllabus and so on. So all of these have been set. Each module has a prerequisite. If you do struggle to open something, that is why. There's probably something that needed to be opened first. Okay, let's come back up here to our syllabus, and we're going to go over specifically the there are just a few pages we're going to kind of go over together. The rest I'd like for you to read on your own. So at this point, you will have hopefully watched the welcome video. If not, please do that. It's very brief, but you get to meet me. You'll have your first day of class checklist. This video will actually be replaced with the one you're seeing now. You have your course objectives and student learning outcomes again. How to best reach me is always going to be through the Canvas inbox. That is the way. Unfortunately, I don't have a phone number to share with you, but through this inbox, I will check it regularly, perhaps a couple times a day, throughout our semester. So there's not a super long wait time on that, and through that we can make our Zoom meeting arrangements as well. I also encourage you to make friends in the class, especially through our discussions, and some of you might even know others in the class. There are Yuba Community College student conduct and academic integrity policies listed here. I would love for you to read over that. The one that obviously academic honesty policy is very important. We don't want any cheating. We don't want any plagiarism or academic dishonesty. Plagiarism is knowingly or unknowingly using another person's ideas or words without proper citation. That's something we specifically avoid doing in this class. And we don't have, as far as our course policies, we don't have an attendance policy because this is an asynchronous course. That also means there are no sick days. There's no late work extensions given. But the good news is you can turn in late work up to 3 days. However, it will incur a 25% penalty. So make sure to check these out a little bit more carefully after, on your own after watching the video. But that's true for everyone, regardless of the circumstance. As far as revisions go, I strongly encourage you to do revisions. If you are unhappy with any of your work, you're more than welcome to revise and resubmit within 24 hours. I do request that you leave in the feedback box what you did to revise the work. So just a little summary of what you did. And of course, you guys know as well as I do not to use AI. Now, what is AI, this is an extensive breakdown for you. I'd like you to read this on your own in a writing class. It is very important to not use AI. It is important to use your brain. It is important to be original and use only your own original work. So what that means and AI can mean anything from like being written literally by something else. It can also mean it can also come up as you be having been it can be come up as having it can be flagged as being AI. And if that happens, which it does often in a writing class, specifically if you do use Google Docs, the Grammarly editing tool will definitely come up as AI. So I always encourage you not to use it. There is a little formatting link in the module, the support module. However, I discourage you from using Google Docs and especially Grammarly. That again, that is a artificial intelligence revising an essay. So anyway, when that happens, if this happens to you, which it happens a couple times per per assignment, to be honest with you, it happens a lot. Uh, If it happens, what I will do is the assignment will be given a 0 and as a holding place, and you will receive in the feedback box on the assignment a message from me requesting that you reach out to me to set up a Zoom meeting and we will go over your assignment together. And from that point onward, it just depends on the circumstances. Sometimes we determined it was a Grammarly situation and I grade it with you during the Zoom meeting. If it is written by a chat GPT type thing or whatever, it will remain a 0. So it just depends. It could be anywhere in between. Those aren't the only two outcomes. So, but it does need to be discussed. If you don't reach out to me, it will just remain a 0. So, please do read over this a little bit more carefully and reach out to me if you have any questions whatsoever. 'Cause I know that it's a pretty big deal in academia now. If there are further questions, I'm more than happy to talk with you about them. So all assignments in this class moving forward, all assignments, whether they're essays or homework assignments, they should be submitted in MLA format. Now, what that means, excuse me, on the page, because there are a lot of things that what when we refer to MLA format, it means Modern Language Association, and they determine what the page should look like, right? So this is saying should be typed, should be double spaced, should have one inch margins all the way around, 12 point Times New Roman font. In MLA format, so you're going to have an MLA heading. And you don't need to learn this absolutely today, so I'm going to kind of just move forward and we'll talk about what that looks like. There's also in the files section, there will be examples and so on, but we'll get to that. I just want to make clear that when you are submitting assignments, they should have an MLA heading and be in Times New Roman 12-point font, double spaced. All right, and here it says here, do not use Google Docs. And the reason again, class, is because it does so oftentimes get pinged for AI. So anyway, you can read this other stuff a little bit more clearly on your own. I don't want this video to go too long, but you have heard it from me. Essays and all assignments will be in MLA format. And you have your grading scale. There are 4 essays this semester. Actually, I think there are 4. Here's your grading rubric. And I did go over our communication plan already, but here it is in a slightly different format, and it's a little bit more detailed than as was on the home page. So here we are in the Canvas module. And that's there for you. Again, I'm not going to go over that in this video. I do want to show you here, though, the student support services and resources. So in this small little module, it is small, but it is mighty. You have your library and reference links. Now, there's a helpful video if you are unfamiliar with the library. There's a link to their homepage. If you would like to make an appointment with a writing tutor, you can do so here. There's a direct link. You can get there are these 3 links here. You can explore this on your own. Now, I do want to point out that you can set up a regular appointment with a tutor. You can go in face to face on either campus in Marysville on the main campus or in Sutter at the Sutter Center. There are tutors, there's lots of support there for you, but you can make an appointment to meet in person or via Zoom. That's what I was going to say. All right, DSPS, lots of information here as well. There's a direct phone number if you would like to speak with a human being. There's a video and then, of course, a direct link to their website, which is going to have lots of other information for you as well. I kind of already went over this, but when we get to just with the MLA format, but here is a little bit more detailed breakdown of what I'm looking for in essays and paragraphs. And then I've also included a list, and this is pretty long, but I think you might enjoy reading it, as each one of these is unedited advice from previous students. So I hope you enjoy reading that. There's a little bit more. Oh, so this is our MLA format, the MLA module. So you have lots of support in terms of MLA. And then, of course, just in terms of the flow and the module work. So the first one, the module 0, is merely a formality. I'm sure you're aware of this if you've taken online courses. If you haven't, what this is, the engagement activity is to be done on the very first day of class. It is a way of checking into the class, making sure you're accounted for. Do this immediately. This is a fun time for you guys to meet each other, and then go directly into module 1. This is where, and I'm going to open up a couple of these just to show you the pattern. So each module will have an objectives and assignments page. That's where the work kind of begins. I'll have videos kind of with overviews for the module in each of these pages. So each module has the objectives and assignments page. Then there'll be a lecture. There'll be a discussion post and in this case, there's the homework, there's a couple assignments, things to consider. There's going to be a quiz in each module. And eventually, the first few do not have essay assignments. They are simply quizzes, discussion post lectures, and homework. And then it kind of gathers. Now, this looks a little bit daunting, class, but what it is a series of lectures on the writing process. And they're very brief, but then there's a discussion post, more lectures, and then you will have a formal essay assignment. I do want to remind you, and I'll say this again, that these, especially with the essay assignments, you definitely want to start maybe 4 or 5 days in advance. And give yourself time to write. Give yourself time to read, write, and watch the documentary. You'll have to do a little bit of outside research for each one. So be mindful of that. Going back to our modules. Oh, and just while I'm thinking about it, every essay in this class will be the same length, 6 to 8 paragraphs long. So you'll have an introduction, 4 body paragraphs, at least either 4 or 6, depending. But in most cases, it's 4, and then a conclusion paragraph. So intro, 4 body, and a conclusion. Not too bad. All right. So just cruising back down here. So all of your modules will pretty much look the same. Objectives, a lecture, a discussion post, a quiz, an assignment, and an essay. Oh, this one actually we're skipping for summer. So that's why that is there. And you won't see this on your screen. So pretend that didn't even happen. All right, so here we are at the real module 4. Again, same pattern. And in this case, I'm gonna I can't embed it because it's on Netflix, but there's a documentary on Netflix you'll be watching and responding to afterwards. So each of these essays really does focus on a documentary, and you'll have to do a little outside research. Speaking of research, your final essay for the class will be a formal research essay, and it will be on AI. The assignments will be on how AI is affecting the future, and it's a little more detailed than that, but that's what we're working on. Your homework in advance of that will all support it. So your library information literacy tutorials and whatnot will enable you to do your research on your own. And that, my friends, is how our class will go and flow this semester. I really cannot reiterate enough how much I am looking forward to this semester with you. And I hope to hear from each one of you and help you if you need it, support your semester, closing these down. If there are any issues with anything, any of the resources, any of the links, anything with the class, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. It will help me. I can fix things right away, and it will enable me to help everyone all at the same time. So I hope that was helpful for you. I look forward to the semester, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much. Go to Module 0. Bye, you guys.